Alright, let's continue, shall we? We picked up here. Mystic Ship in the Mist. What? What's going on? Appears to be a power system failure. No, it's the Loong. The Loong King is coming. Mabitabare City. Umri. Mabitabare City Umri. Is there a circuit box in the dining hall? Yes, behind the oil painting, but it's too dark. It'll be hard to find. A few moments later. Mr. Shen, the circuit box is here. It appears a fuse has been blown. Oh no, this morning I heard Liang Xin say that he just replaced the last spare. John, why not just try to connect the wires? Let me see. Be careful, Mr. Shen. Oh? Connect these fuses according to the positive and negative poles without crossing them. Then the circuit box will be repaired. Puzzle time, okay. Oh, that's a reset button. Nope. Oh. Oh, okay, that's how this works. That's how this works. Alright, the power has been restored. Thank you for your grace, Amitabha. You're welcome. Master Wu, shouldn't you be thanking Mr. Shen? Yes, of course. All is good. All is well. I told you nothing could go wrong. Not to worry, everyone. The Shanhei is the safest ship there is. Help! What? What's going on now? Somebody help! Sounds like Yinchu. Let's go up and take a look. A neat detail someone pointed out, which I didn't really see since I'm voicing everyone myself, is that apparently when hanging out with Joseph, when he's referred to as John, Shen actually speaks English. Yinchu, are you alright? Miss Yinchu, what happened? Room. In the room. Yinchu. Yinchu, she's been... Ah! Oh no. Murdered. Ah! I'm sorry. She's no longer breathing. Her blood has yet to coagulate. She has just passed away not too long ago. Oh, there's been a murder. Please guard the doors and do not let anyone else in. Okay. Yinchu, you've died so tragically. Who in the world could do such a thing? To find the culprit, an on-site investigation must be conducted. John, can you cooperate with me? Certainly. Oh, alright. There's a wind-up gramophone, but it is slightly damaged. If oil is applied on the spring, the sound produced should be improved. Very good. The Wu family seemed to know something about the legends of the Loong King temple. The eldest Wu brother was particularly keen on refraining from talking about it. What exactly was the incident back then that was brought up in their conversation? There's a small mirror as well as some bottles and jars on the table. Top-grade moisturizers and serums. These are all expensive Watson brand cosmetics. The cabinet is locked and cannot be opened. Magnets, coils, ammeters, and many other strange objects can be seen placed inside. These are most likely not the belongings of Madame Yin and Miss Yin Chu. Curious? There's a woman's coat on the hanger. It appears to belong to Madame Yin. Two books, the Chinese Scientific Magazine and Night and Morning, are on the upper bunk. This bed appears to belong to Miss Yin Chu. There's a water pipe on the lower bunk. This is probably Madame Yin's bed. The corner of a book is poking out from underneath the pillow. It is an account book. It records in detail the various expenses of the Wu family. Wait! What are you doing? What are you two doing? A post-mortem examination. The two of you are outsiders and men. How can I let you touch my sister-in-law's body? Mr. Teman, Mr. Joseph is a prosecutor from Britain with great accomplishments in medicine. This examination will not harm her body, but instead help us understand the cause of death. You can't. It's improper for men and women to touch so casually. Just let Yin Chu do it on your behalf, then. Mr. Wu, it is obvious that your sister-in-law has been murdered. Unless you want the culprit to remain at large, please remain silent and stay out of the way. Ah. John, let's begin. Damn. Alright. The head of the deceased rests against the bed, yet her foot tilts unnaturally to one side. It is as if the murderer took her life, placed her body down, and then kicked her. That's mean. They do so to vent anger. No, the murderer wouldn't only have kicked her once if they struck her body out of frustration. There's probably another reason for this. There are some glass shards scattered around the feet of the deceased, one of which is a perfectly circular shape, seeming out of place among the other fragments. Where could this have fallen from? The body is still warm to the touch, and there are no signs of livor mortis, indicating that she has just passed away. There's a gash on the outer side of the deceased's arm that was caused by a sharp object. This is a defense wound. According to the location of the wound, it is likely that the deceased instinctively blocked the murderer's assault with the left arm. There are several parallel bloodstains on the ground near the left hand of the deceased. The bloodstains spread in an outward direction and do not seem to be left by the deceased. There's a candlestick in her chest. There are no blood spurts nearby, but blood is oozing out. Where the atrium is impaled, blood flows into the pericardium, resulting in a fatal blockage. The The entire process happens extremely quickly. The deceased wouldn't even have time to scream. The murderer seems quite skillful to be able to kill someone in one blow with a candlestick. The murder weapon was a copper candlestick. The spikes completely penetrated the body. The drip pan on the candlestick is covering the bleeding from the wound. Therefore, the column has not been tainted with blood. Wax bowl. Ugh. The face of the deceased is clean and the jade on her hairpin is sparkling under the light. This hairpin appears to be a collector's item. You know what's what, huh? Yinzhou's hairpin can't be bought with money. Does this hairpin have a special origin? The silversmith who made it used to work in the palace. That craftsmanship is long lost now. Someone once owned us Woos a large sum of money, so Yinzhou and I went to collect their debt. Yinzhou immediately fell in love with this hairpin before I could even say anything. Ah. Madame Yin's autopsy report. Spike of a candlestick. Doesn't seem to have been... Unless that portrait doesn't really show it all that well, I don't know if she was wearing it. There's a closed suitcase placed horizontally by the bed. The cuff of Madame Yin's right sleeve is caught in the suitcase. There's an overturned kerosene lamp on the ground. The lampshade has already been broken. The name Fu is written at the base of the lamp with a brush. Yinzhou! Oh, Yinzhou, how could this happen? You were alive and well just moments ago, but now you're gone. My condolences, Mr. Tema. I have a few questions to ask. I heard your fear of these waters is due to you almost boarding a missing escort ship. Shh! Why is this being brought up again? Madame Yin was murdered when our ship was approaching the waters near the Loong King temple. Does this seem like a coincidence to you, Mr. Teman? You should know. These waters are evil. Evil, I tell you. Whether it's what happens today or back then, it's because we've angered the Loong King. If you could, Mr. Teman, please tell me about what happened in the past. Father entrusted the Yangtze River escort agency to transport the silver to buy a tea shop. I was supposed to accompany the escort, but I suddenly fell ill. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I would have followed that ship into the stomach of the Loong King. My condolences, Mr. Teman. Yinzhou. Mr. Teman, has Madame Yin ever been on unfriendly terms with anyone? Yinzhou had a knack for running the household. People were bound to be jealous. I don't think anyone would harm Yinzhou because of that. Is there anyone on this ship that raises your suspicions, Mr. Tema? They turned off all the lights like snap, then killed someone with a candlestick. Something under the water. Must have possessed somebody. Please bless us, Bodhisattva. Bless us. The Woos? Earlier I heard you speaking with your sisters about the splitting of the inheritance. You mean the tea business, the land and the house our father left behind. Could another Madame Yin be related to this? Hey, you don't think us Woos would kill Yinzhou just for some family property, do you? Us Woos aren't heartless profit-seekers. Mr. Joseph, I've got the culprit. Oh, there he is. That's the boy sleeping on the bunk above. That's the boy sleeping on the bunk above me. It's Apu. Apu is the culprit. Oh no. I saw him running out of Yinzhou's room in a hurry. When I caught up with him, I noticed he had blood all over his hands. That's why I seized him and brought him here. Tell us, did you kill her or not? Oh, my boy. If you won't talk, that means you admit it. Throw him in the river as an offering to the Loong King. Shipmaster Lo will decide how to deal with him. Lang Xin, you should go find a rope and tie this murderer up. Wait a moment. This young man is most likely not the murderer of Madame Yin.
Huh?
He's not the murderer. You better take responsibility for what you say, you foreigner. Just look at the face of this slippery fellow. It's obvious he's a crafty old devil. Ah, yes. Mr. Joseph, Afu's hands are covered in blood. Why would you say that he's not the murderer? John. Afu's possibility of being the murderer is next to nothing. I believe you know why. I have not yet been able to see the entire truth. Don't be modest. You already have an answer in your heart. I shall try my best. Deduction! With his pale face and bloodied hands, Afu does appear to be the murderer. But in fact, there is a crucial detail at the crime scene that contradicts this deduction. It's either that there's no... If there was an offensive wound, which, like, that could have been caused by, like, the spike of a candlestick. That's a slash. Afu only has blood on his hand. The evidence that proves Afu is not the murderer is the candlestick penetrating the body. Ooh, I like this music. Mr. Shen, is this candlestick the murder weapon? Or does it prove that Afu isn't the murderer? To pierce the spike into the body, the murderer's hand must grip the candlestick, correct? Yes, to apply force. Afu was gripping the candlestick when he committed murder. Then why is Afu's right palm stained with blood, yet the candlestick is clean?
Huh?
What? What if he cleaned the blood stain off the candlestick? Lang Xin, if Afu cleaned the candlestick, he would have cleaned his hand as well. Could it be that the candlestick moved on its own and killed her? The deceased was killed by a long and thin weapon penetrating the heart. Under these circumstances, blood doesn't spray, but it oozes instead and is absorbed by clothing. Moreover, with this wax bowl as a barrier, the murderer could keep blood off their hands. The power went out earlier, but it happened when Afu was committing the crime. Is it possible that he touched the blood on Yinzhou amidst the panic? John, Lang Xin has proposed a decent hypothesis. So did Afu enter the crime scene before the power outage? John, I would like to hear your answer. The evidence that can specify the time. It's right in front of our eyes. This broken kerosene lamp can indicate the time a Fu entered the crime scene. A kerosene lamp was needed precisely because of the power outage, which means that a Fu entered the crime scene after the power outage. If a Fu entered the room after the power went out, at the time he held the lamp in his right hand and his left was stuck in a strange device. And it wouldn't be easy for him to get a candlestick and commit murder. If it wasn't a Fu, then why? Why are his hands covered in blood, huh? And again, as a man, what was he doing running into a woman's room? Pale face, trembling body, sweating profusely. These are all typical symptoms of fear. Afraid a Fu has been rendered speechless due to vasovagal syncope. As for the reason why he has blood-stained hands, Madame Yin has already told us. Yin Zhou. John, why don't you give Mr. Wu a hint? Well, this was left after the fact. A Fu may have unknowingly touched the left arm of the deceased by chance. Not a doubt the blood on a Fu's hands belongs to Madame Yin. Most likely created the bloodstains on the floor as well. However, if you want to persuade the two Mr. Wus, you need to go the extra mile. Therefore, what we actually need is to provide is the reason why a Fu touched the body. This came from the lamp. You weren't going after that, were you? No. Oh, you tripped. John, this is the reason why a Fu had blood on his hands. You just sweat blood and think harder. Ow! It feels weird pointing out this, though. Alright. Oh, okay. One of the lenses missing from a Fu's glasses lighted next to Madame Yin. Finger snap. That's an answer right as rain. Based on Madame Yin's strange posture and the location of the lamp, as well as the lens. Considering the position of possible light sources inside the cabin after a power outage, a Fu's experience can be easily inferred. Entering the room, he accidentally tripped over the body on the ground, thus breaking the kerosene lamp and his glasses. And crouching down to look for his glasses, he touched the blood on the deceased's clothes. The blood then triggered his phobia. Oh. Joseph, so you're saying, if we only discovered the body and the culprit is someone else? That's right. No. It wasn't a person. It was the Loong King. The candlestick moved on its own. The Loong King is after our lives. Mr. Teman, your concern is misplaced. An unreasonable detail near the body indicates someone besides a Fu entered the crime scene. The unreasonable detail at the crime scene is this suitcase. The suitcase caught Madame Yin's right sleeve. This means after Madame Yin was stabbed and collapsed, someone closed the suitcase.
Huh?
What do you mean? The suitcase is placed right next to Madame Yin. Whoever closed it must have noticed her body. This person is not a fool, otherwise he would not have tripped. It also was not Madame Yin, or else there would be bloodstains on the suitcase. Remaining calm after discovering the body. Must be the murderer. But why would the murderer deliberately close the suitcase after committing the crime? Maybe open the suitcase to investigate. No, you can't. You mustn't open it. Who knows what Yinzhou stashed away in that suitcase? What if it'll bring misfortune upon us as well? Mr. Joseph, Mr. Shen, don't mind this old fogey. Investigations are much more important. Open it. Oh. There are a few clothes, a box of jewelry, a purse, and some cards in the suitcase. There's an indentation here. Something seems to have been taken. There'd be pirates on the ship. The valuables inside the suitcase are still present. It was not the doings of pirates. John, we investigated this room earlier. When we investigated the room earlier, did you see anything of the same shape? The perfume bottle. The perfume bottle on the table has the same shape as the indentation. Fragrance of the deceased suggests that this may not have been the doings of the murderer. Therefore, what's even more noteworthy is this mahjong card. 8 of characters. 8 of characters.
Huh?
We were missing 8 mahjong cards earlier. What is the 8 of characters doing here? She stole them, of course. That Yinzhou, she can't even play mahjong without cheating. No, wait. This suitcase isn't Yinzhou's. It looks like Yinzhu's. The clothes in the suitcase and the perfume on the table all belong to Yinzhou. Yinzhou? Hey, could you ask Miss Yinzhou to come inside for a moment? Mr. Joseph, I think Yinzhou is upset by what she saw. She doesn't look too good. Shall we let her get some rest first? Of course. Afu needs rest as well. We can question them later. Oh, okay. This room. Yinzhou and Afu can rest in Taiman's room, and he'll be worshipping the Loong King. Ah! Hey, wait. We haven't resolved the issues on sacrificial offerings yet. Uh-oh. Just go ahead and just... Mr. Joseph, what should we do with Madame Yin? It's best we preserve the body at the lowest temperature so we can conduct a follow-up autopsy. The lowest temperature? Is the crew cabin okay? Great suggestion. Shen Zhengping and Ale place the body in the crew cabin. Thank you for your help, Ale. I would have dropped Madame Yin while going down the stairs. There's no need for that, Mr. Shen. I only did what I should. Besides, Madame Yin barely weighs anything. It was effortless. Noodle arms. Where are you off to investigate next, Mr. Shen? I'll lead the way. I appreciate it, Ale. When the Woos were playing mahjong cards, they noticed several character cards were missing. Afterwards, the 8 of characters appeared in a suitcase at Madame Yin's crime scene. It's highly likely the murderer placed the cards. But what is the reason for doing this? When investigating the suitcase, I had a strong sense of abnormality. Something seems peculiar about this. What could it be? This door leads to the crew cabin. There's no need to go down there for now. We just came out. Ooh. The fog at night covers a wide span. Visibility is but mere meters. Our ship seems to be sailing within endless darkness. Oh, do you hear that? What is that sound? Do you mean the thumping and clanging up ahead, Mr. Shen? Yes. I know, it's the sound of gongs and drums. Why would they be sounding gongs and drums in the middle of the night? It means our ship has reached the Loong King temple. Today is Loong Head-Raising Day, February 2nd. They hold festive events to worship the Loong King. Hey, shipmaster. Nothing like this has ever happened on my ship before. You checked everywhere. Are there any traces of pirates boarding the ship? There are no signs of pirates boarding the ship, and no one has lost their belongings. Mr. Joseph and Mr. Shen both believe that this is a murder case. Mission time. Mr. Shen is here. In order to ascertain Madame Yin's murder as soon as possible, I must investigate the cockpit. Shipmaster Lowe, please forgive me for any offense. Langshin has filled me in on all the details. Feel free to investigate. If there's anything you need my help with, just let me know. The style of this device is extremely unique. Mr. Shen, this is the engine telegraph. It's used to adjust the ship's speed. Ooh, learning. An engine telegraph is a communication device used on ships to convey orders from the bridge, where the ship is controlled, to the engine room, instructing the engine crew on how to adjust the speed or direction of the ship's engines. Engine telegraph typically consists of a set of handles or levers on both the bridge and in the engine room, connected by a telegraph system. Handles are marked with different engine commands, such as full ahead, half ahead, slow ahead, full astern. Oh yeah, you can see the range here. Dead slow, slow, half full. You have ahead, astern. Hey. The map is laid on the desk, on which a compass, a sextant, and a telescope are placed. A navigation log that records the course, speed, position, weather, and tidal currents. It records, arrived in Xunyang at 2050, but command to accelerate to proceed at full speed. Enter the waters of the Loong King temple at 2130, command to decelerate, slowly advanced. Power outage occurred at 2210, and power was restored at 2220. This information may be useful. I need to record it. Full speed, slow advance. 40 minutes later, power outage. 10 minutes later, power back. There's a food container by the table, the same one First Mate Wu took from the dining hall. Mr. Langshin, may I ask you a few questions? Mr. Shen, what would you like to know? Has Madame Yin ever had any grudges with anyone? Yin Zhou is quite obtrusive and a bloodsucker, so she's made her fair share of enemies. Wow, that's a powerful wording. However, none of these people are on this ship. Of all the people on this ship, who do you think has the most motive to kill her? Wu Taiman. Master Wu? They might seem friendly with one another, but they've had an ongoing strife for years. The main conflict between them has always been the family business. My second oldest brother died young, but Yin Zhou has a son with him, and she's got business talent. Yeah, hence sister-in-law. Even as the eldest son, Timon didn't stand a chance against her. Timon has always been looking for a way to deprive Yin Zhou's family of inheritance rights. How would he be able to do so? There are a myriad of rules in big families. For instance, if a woman engages in public or immoral behavior, she'll lose her right of inheritance. As far as I know, Yinzhou does what she pleases in secret, but Taemon never caught her. I didn't expect him to go so far. I'm a bit worried about the safety of my nephew. If Madame Yin's family loses inheritance rights, and your inheritance would increase. Me? Yinzhou and I are above bickering with those two. Yeah, the two youngest siblings seem alright. And they do seem to consider Yinzhou the golden child. But Yinzhou herself doesn't seem to. Then again, there's a difference between I don't want to be the golden child who gets all the things, and I'm getting all the things, but I don't acknowledge that this is privileged for me. Why'd you come to serve as the first mate of the Shanhei, Mr. Langxin? Although the Wu is well known for being tea merchants, I'm more of a coffee person. Fair enough. Mr. Langxin, I wonder where your aspirations lie. Sure, Mr. Shen, you have definitely read around the world in 80 days before. I want to be like Fog and travel the world, see the sights, eat delicious food, and enjoy life. Bold. I like you. Yep, the foo on the lamp is Su Fu Sing. Coffee. Coffee was first introduced to China in the mid-Qing dynasty. 1836, a Danish person opened the first coffee shop in Guangzhou, but it was mainly catered to foreigners. After the Opium War, Shanghai established concessions. Chinese compradors imitated the lifestyle of Western merchants, becoming the first group of Chinese people to drink coffee. 1866, the book Foreign Cookery in Chinese was written to train Chinese chefs in Western cuisine. With a passage specifically mentioning roast and grind, cafe vigorously, constantly stir. Here, cafe is the transliteration of coffee. The English word coffee written in Chinese characters? Written phonetically in Chinese characters, I believe that's what that refers to. Oops. Shipmaster Lo, there are a few questions I would like to ask you. Don't hesitate to ask, Mr. Shen. I heard that shipmate Hao Shu was gone missing. That's right, I haven't seen him since Yinzhou's incident. Do you think he did it? Although Hao Shu causes trouble when he's drunk, he's a coward. I doubt he'd kill anyone. Don't be so sure. This guy's a drunkard and a lecher. He offended Yinzhou not too long ago. Really? What happened? The time Yinzhou had just boarded the ship and asked Hao Shu to help carry her things. Well, not only didn't he lend a helping hand, he ogled her the entire time, then got told off. Refused to repent and kept insisting Yinzhou looked like the wife he never got to marry. Did they ever have any direct conflicts? Not really. I shoot him away. But the simper he had on his face back then. Now that I think about it, it was really suspicious. The Shanhei? How long have you been on the Shanhei, Shipmaster Lo? I've been related to this ship for most of my life. The ship used to be called the Loong King, the first steamship us Chinese designed and built. It's even older than the famous Guangzhou, but not many people know that. When this ship was built, I was only 15 and worked at the Loong King Ordnance Institute. Watched as Su Shou and his son Su Xianyin built the ship piece by piece. The Su family? We have a Su on board with us. All the pistons and screws on the ship were handmade by Su Shou. Su Qianyin and I hammered the boiler and the engine room together bit by bit. Later on, coincidentally, this ship was renamed the Shanhei, and I became the shipmaster. The Shanhei is more important to me than anything, so please, Mr. Shen, find out the truth. Shipmaster Lo, I saw there was a cabinet in Madame Yin's cabin filled with the Fu's things. Fu used to stay at the cabin in the middle. Would have known better Yin found her cabin too small and insisted on a bigger one. He's a kind-hearted kid, so he voluntarily gave up the cabin to them. You seem to know quite a lot about Fu. You could say that. And once Fu grew up, he used to come and play when he was shorter than the rudder. Now he calls this place home. A lot of small installations in the Shanghai were made by him. Huh. So even although Fu is staying in the guest room, he is actually a crew member. How could young Master Fu be a crew member? He has a deep connection with his ship. Forgive me, I can't go into details. Shipmaster, it's the first time I've heard you talk about this as well. If it weren't for Mr. Shen, it was tied Fu up as the murderer. There's absolutely no way Fu could ever kill anyone. Ah. No more questions. Speaking tube. Which rooms are connected by the speaking tubes? The two adjacent to the rudder are connected to the dining hall and the engine room. There are 3 more next to the cabin doors that connect the 3 cabins. Wangshu? Wangshu was the name of the first steamboat developed by China. It was ordered and named by Zheng Guofan, built by Zhu Shou, Zhu Zhenyan, and Hua Hengfang. It was successfully tested in Nanjing in 1865. The Huangzhou steamboat had a capacity of 25 tons and a length of 55 feet, had a high-pressure steam engine, it reached speeds of 32 miles per hour downstream and 18 miles per hour upstream. Ooh. Impressive. I have a basic understanding of the situation in the cockpit. Sorry for my intrusion. Don't be so courteous, Mr. Shen. You're doing me a favor. Oh! Oh! Did the ship just strike a reef? Nonsense. Where'd you find a reef on the river? Just now. Did something fall down? Shipmaster, Mr. Shen, did you see that? I think it looked like a person. Let's go take a look. Lang Xin, you take the helm. I'll go with Mr. Shen. Huh? I have discovered the body of a crew member. He has been dead for quite some time. Mr. Shen, that's old How. How could this happen? John, come over and examine the body first. Oh shit. Damn. The deceased's left hand and fingers are stiff, with livor mortis on the arm. The deceased is holding half a broken bottle of liquor in his right hand. Muscles in the lower jaw, neck, and upper limbs show signs of rigor mortis. Muscles in the fingers, toes, and lower limbs are more relaxed. Rigor mortis has yet to spread. Rigor mortis limited to the upper limbs indicates a time of death of around 4 to 6 hours ago. There's an abrasion on the forehead and a noticeable lump on the cranial region. The wound caused by the fall is consistent with the position this deceased landed. However, it is quite strange that the lump is white instead of the usual reddish brown. John, bruises caused by falling after death are pale in color. Mr. Shen, there seems to be a piece of paper inside this pile of broken glass. This is another mahjong card. In the broken wine bottle. The card is partially soaked by alcohol, but the text can still be vaguely identified. 9 of characters. Jesus. Large areas of livor mortis have emerged in the legs, appearing purplish red in color. Livor mortis already formed are diffused with petechae in prominent areas. patches of liver mortis are starting to blend, which means he died more than 3 hours ago. More than 3, 4 to 6. There are signs of swelling, congestion, and cyanosis in the deceased's face. The deceased's mouth reeks of alcohol, proving he drank a large amount before death. There's a large amount of vomit left in the deceased's mouth. He may have choked to death. Jesus. Not a good way to go. According to the stiffness and lividity of his body, Hao Chu was killed 4 to 6 hours ago. Cause of death, mechanical asphyxiation. Are you saying he was strangled to death, Mr. Joseph? Ooh, that's concerning. Yep, suffocation caused by respiratory impairment due to mechanical violence. Typically includes compression asphyxia caused by external force applying pressure to the neck or chest, and obstructive asphyxia caused by the blockage of the airway by various liquids or foreign objects. Deceased individuals often display signs such as facial swelling, conjunctival hemorrhage, and dark purple lividity. No, there are many circumstances of mechanical asphyxia. Strangulation is only one of them. On the appearance of this corpse, it is more likely that his death was caused by choking. Hao Chu was an alcoholic. It makes sense that he choked in his own vomit after drinking. Could this have been an accident? Not necessarily. Without knowing what was in the wine, we cannot rule out the possibility someone was involved. Furthermore, we also found this Mahjong card next to Hao Chu. It's hard not to associate his death with the death of Madame Yin. Yeah, it's too coincidental for Master Wu's Mahjong cards to appear at the murder scene. Could it be that there really was something between old Hao and Madame Yin? Hell, don't make wild guesses about our passengers' affairs. I didn't mean to. Matters are trickier than I had imagined. Perhaps this is all just the beginning. John, we need to complete investigations of the whole ship as soon as possible. I'd like to know more about Hao Chu. He's always stewing in his own juices. That's an interesting idiom. The ship seems quite ancient. You don't say. This is the ancestor of all steamboats in China. Hell, does this ladder lead to the top of the cockpit? That's right, Mr. Shen. Hao Chu's body fell from the roof of the ship. We should go up and take a look. Oh. The other one white sticky marks on the ground should be Hao Chu's vomit. It is indeed from quite a while ago, as it has already begun to dry. Old Hao really drank to his heart's content, huh? There are 5 empty bottles. There are 5 empty wine jars scattered across the floor, and 2 distinctive bottles. It appears to be imported liquor. Mr. Shen, that's cola water, a type of soda. It tastes really good. Especially in the summer, after cooling it down with water. You just chug, 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 chug. Chug, 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 chug. Ah. You'll be happy as the day is long. Mr. Shen, do you want to taste the happiness too? No, but thank you for the offer. Did you just have that bottle on you? Girl, please. Soda, also known as Dutch water. Introduced to China around 1877. People at the time were very fond of this refreshing beverage as a way to cool off. During the wedding banquet of the last emperor, Pu Yi, soda was served to the guests. Did Hao Shu ever have conflicts with anyone? I heard he offended Madame Yin before, and now both of them are dead. Hao Chu is the second victim discovered on the ship. However, based on the autopsy report, his time of death was earlier than Madame Yin. Placed beside the victim were 2 Mahjong cards, 8 and 9 of characters respectively. It appears to be the doings of the same murderer. And besides the conflict Lang Xing mentioned, there is barely any connection between the two. If Hao Shu was murdered, then why is the murderer killing him and Madame Yin one after the other? If Hao Shu died of an accident, how come there was a Mahjong card next to his body? Hao Chu was the first to die. A 9 of characters Mahjong card appeared next to him. Next was Madame Yin. She had the card 8 of characters. Mahjong cards have appeared next to all the victims. There seems to be a pattern. This is my cabin. Shall I enter for investigations? I mean... One bag to suppress the demons. One bag to remove ill fortune. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Here's an ample portion of pork, along with some pig ear and snout, to pay our respects. If you choose to accept it, please clear away the bad omens in this water. Master Wu, are you praying for blessings? Blood! There's blood in the water! This is retribution for being ignorant and disrespectful to the Loong King! It's a warning! What are you waiting for? Hurry up and bring more offerings before terrible things happen! But where am I supposed to find offerings? Do not panic, though. A finless porpoise has collided with the bow of the ship. Oh, shit! Must have been the cause of the collision that made Hao Shu's body fall from the roof. I see now. Poor porpoise. Oh, Mami Taba Aria City. And let's continue. That's concerning. Mr. Shen, are you looking at the paddle wheels? They differ from the paddle wheels I often see while studying abroad. I heard the shipmaster say that the Shen He was designed and handmade by the 2 Lord Su. Mr. Shen, what's inside this jar? It contains my brother's ashes. Made this trip so I could bring him back home. My condolences, Mr. Shen. It's fine. Those who have passed away are resting in peace. Let us go and take a look elsewhere. This is our bed. I sleep on the upper bunk while Joseph takes the lower bunk. There's nothing out of place with the bedding on the bed and the suitcase under the bed. How could something so cute appear on Mr. Joseph's bed? This teddy bear belongs to Joseph's daughter. She asked Joseph to keep it by his side. Oh. He is happily married. Dang. Mr. Shen, you've dropped your money. Oh, this does not belong to me. However, it looks quite familiar. I may have seen it before. Guangzhou currency. Ah, red string. There are 2 books titled The Great Jing Code and The Spirit of Laws on the side table. These are books that I have been reading recently. What's wrong, Mr. Shen? The red wine Joseph left at the table is missing. Missing? How could it be missing? I'm afraid someone has visited this room in secret. Alright. No rallies were discovered. Mr. Shen, the bottle of red wine is the only thing missing, right? Nothing else? No, nothing else. That's strange. Who would steal Mr. Joseph's wine? Curious indeed. There's Yin Chu and Madame Yin's cabin. It is locked. Fu and Miss Yin Chu are resting inside this cabin right now. Oh, she's looking after him. Yin Chu, Fu, Mr. Shen needs to come in and investigate. Hello, Mr. Shen. Hello, El. Fu, you're looking much better now. Huh? You still can't speak? Oh no! What if you'll never be able to speak again? Ah, there's a hand-drawn blueprint of what seems like a fish tank on the desk. There's also a strangely shaped ruler and several issues of the Chinese scientific magazine. There's a row of test tubes, 2 bottles of reagents, and some apparatuses against the wall. Mr. Shen, what's this device with a crooked neck? That is a microscope. It is able to make an enlarged image of a small object. It's absolutely magical! Huh? Are you trying to tell us this device is very delicate and needs to be treated with care? Oh, thumbs up. I understand. We will be careful. Fu probably there thinking, he gets me, he gets me. The earliest microscope was invented in the 16th century. Magnification of only 9 times. Later, through the modifications by Antoine van Leeuwenhoek, it reached magnification of 300 times by the 17th century. Microscopes were introduced to China during the reign of the Kangxi Emperor and the Changlong Emperor. Wrote a poem titled Ode to the Microscope. Ah! However, the object described in the poem was actually a magnifying glass. Microscopes did not receive much attention at the time and only began to play a role in production and daily life during the period of the Republic of China. Roll? Mr. Shen, there's a piece of balled up paper on the floor under the bed. Mr. Wu, the 5,000 taels of silver you borrowed are more than 2 months overdue. You still can't pay it back before the end of the month. I can only come and claim it. Ah. There are paper charms on all 4 corners of the top bunk and a portrait hanging on the end. Mr. Shen, the Loong in this painting looks so scary. Could it be the Loong King? Could it be the Loong King has been on the ship all this time, hiding in the painting? No fear, Em. It's a replica of the 9 Loongs of the Song Dynasty, not the Loong King. Pastries? The lower bunk is a plate of pastries similar in color and shaped to peach blossoms. This is Victory Cake, a snack from southern China. Chomp. Yin Chu? Miss Yin Chu, are you feeling better now? Well, sure, I guess. Better is relative. I still can't believe that Yin Chu was... she was... Miss Yin Chu. Don't think back on it when you feel bad again. Yeah. There are still a few questions I need to ask you, Miss Yin Chu. To your knowledge, Miss Yin Chu, has Madame Yin ever had any grudges with anyone? I've been studying abroad, so I have no idea. How was a relationship with you 3? Taeman and Yin Zhou have more frequent contact. Lang Xin, like me, doesn't come home often. I've only heard Lang Xin say that Yin Zhou and Taeman have some grudges. Grudges? What kind of grudges? It's nothing. I'm not involved in money-related issues. Ooh, money related. There's... About yourself. Earlier, why did you suddenly leave the dining hall? I didn't like the mood at the mahjong table. I couldn't catch my breath. I was afraid my asthma would relapse, so I went back to my room to take medicine. At the time, was Madame Yin still inside the room? Yes, she was. Did you see anyone suspicious, Yin-Chu? No. My chest felt stuffy, so after I took my medicine, I went to the bow of the ship for some air. No more questions. Afu? Come on, you can do it. Afu looks like he has something to say. You mean you saw someone suspicious? Huh? You said he's not human? Oh no. Don't tell Teman. Well, allow me to take a look. Alright. Please also soak this tweezer in hot water, then dry it with a clean cloth. Afu, please open your mouth wide. Huh? There's a slight dislocation of the hyoid bone. Mr. Shen, here. Afu, maintain your current posture. And slowly stick out your tongue. Hold still. Ow, 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 ow. I can speak now. Detective, how'd you do that? That's amazing. You've rescued me 2 times. How could I ever thank you? You are welcome. Earlier inside the cabin, I was so dizzy, I couldn't speak at all. Thank goodness you spoke up for me. Otherwise, what's making you laugh? Huh, it's nothing. Huh? How come I'm speaking with a lisp? You were unable to speak because you dislocated your hyoid bone from excessive fright. Although the hyoid bone has been repositioned, the muscles have not yet fully recovered. What do we do? There's no need to worry too much. I had a similar experience when I was a child. Hyoid bone dislocation. The lingual bone, as opposed to the ligma bone, is involved in oral movements and has a significant impact on swallowing, chewing, and pronunciation. In the event of a car accident, being choked, being frightened, the hyoid bone may be displaced from its original position, a condition known as hyoid bone dislocation. Just rest. Okay, thanks. Detective, you need me to join in investigations? I'll tell you everything I know. Take your time. You should rest well first. The same goes for you, Miss Yin-Chu. Without further instructions, do not leave this cabin. Okay. Can we talk to Afu now, or guess you are full rest mode? Rafi, don't come after me. There's a paper charm attached to the stern of the ship. When the Loong King appears at midnight, may the golden light protect me. Mr. Shen, what is that? The second line seems to be taken from the Taoist golden light mantra. No doubt it's the handwriting of Master Wu. That is highly likely. However, I've never heard of the saying, the Loong King appears at midnight. Master Wu is a Buddhist, a Taoist, and a worshipper of the Loong King. Isn't he tired? Hell, I've investigated all that I could. Just go see if Joseph is in need of our assistance. No problem. Ready to go to the dining hall? Fair enough. We'll go check in on Mr. Joseph. Next time, though, until then.